What's up, everybody? It's your favorite smuggler's favorite nerd. And today we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Han Solo. Right off the top, we're going to take a look at this accessory, which is the Stormtrooper belt that he wears in A New Hope after he gets out of the Stormtrooper armor, out of the trash compactor, and then he still keeps the belt for a holster and probably ammunition and stuff like that. The reason why I bring this up is because I passed on this figure for a long time. I eventually decided to get him because I heard that they were making a Chewbacca, and it never hurts to have a Han and Chewie in your collection. When I heard that the Chewbacca was coming out, I said, I'll pick up the Han Solo next time I see him. So, I saw him, picked him up. And I was a bit disappointed because I was like, man, I don't want my Han Solo wearing a Stormtrooper belt. It's just like, it's a small scene from a big saga, and, I just don't really want that representation of him. So I was pleased to find out that when I opened it up, it comes with this, but it also comes with his standard belt with thigh holster. And that brings me to the marketing problem with toys these days, is that it's not, that information isn't given anywhere on the box. What do these people expect? Like, I know they're saving money on, the packaging of it, but at the same time, you're limiting the information. For the purpose of what? For the purpose of a classy package? What if that was somewhere else in a classy environment? Like a classy restaurant?
Thank you for dining at Shea Classies. Have you decided on what you'd like to eat this evening?
Oh yeah, well, I wore my designer t-shirt, so I'm in the mood for something fancy. I have a question though. There's nothing on your menu.
We have everything.
What do you mean you have?
Everything.
Can I get a cheeseburger?
Everything.
Okay, I'll take a Rice Krispie treat.
We don't have Rice Krispie treats.
So anyway, he does come with both, which is nice. I just wish they would tell you. I would have gotten him a lot sooner. The holster is a soft plastic, and it pegs together. And that is the problem with soft plastic belts and such, is sometimes they have a hard time pegging together. This one pegs together extremely nice, and this one does too, except for the gun bit down here. I'm having a hard time getting that to peg in properly. Other than that, he does come with a pretty wide range of accessories. So he's got the Stormtrooper blaster, which I don't think I managed to mess that up, which goes in like this. And so he's got that. And then he's got his two work hands where he's working on the Falcon, or Falcon, depending on your state in the fandom. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this figure. The problem with figures that are based on a movie is nailing the movie likeness. When you have a figure based on a comic book, the comic book likeness, it's up for interpretation. It's up for a little give. What does Batman look like? Well, he looks one way when Tim Sale draws him, and he looks one way when Jim Lee draws him, and he looks one way when Michael Turner drew him, and he looks, et cetera, et cetera. But he's Batman, and all of those representations are correct. Whereas Han Solo looks like Harrison Ford. We all know what Harrison Ford looks like. Get off my plane, the whole bit, right? There's not a lot of room for error, and the face sculpt is good. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. It doesn't look like Harrison Ford. It looks like some sort of Harrison Ford-esque type of unit. It's just hard to lock down. Other than that, first impressions wise, he's pretty solid. His head is on a disc hinge, so you get, you get a wide range of motion. He goes down about that far, he goes up about that far, and it doesn't expose a whole lot. You get 180 if he's ever possessed by Beelzebub or whomever. Shoulders are on ball hinges. It's actually more of a universal joint, to be honest, and he also has a butterfly joint. You get about one click forward and nothing really back, but it's good range. Elbows are on a swivel at above the elbow, and then they're hinged and kind of a ratchet. It's ratchet-esque. Wrist is on a swivel and a hinge. Same on the other side. Waist is on a ball joint, which I prefer, over a ab crunch. The vest is a loose plastic, so you can take it off if you would ever want to do that. I wouldn't, but it's nice that you have the option, and it doesn't look bad when it's on. A lot of times when things have options, it looks bad on. Doesn't look natural, but this looks pretty good. Belt is a soft plastic. We've already talked about that. The diaphragm ball joint does give you, it gives you full 180 or 360 rather, but it gives you as far as you would ever want to take him, if for opposing purposes. Hips are on universal joints. Looks T-jointed, but you don't get very much this way, which is fine. He's not a ninja. You would get as much as I think you would ever need. And thighs are on a swivel, double jointed knees that don't look terrible. I mean, they could, it doesn't look perfect, but they have this little piece of plastic here that helps, and it doesn't look bad. Shins, thank God, are not on a swivel. I hate that in figures. And there's an ankle rocker and an ankle hinge, but it's really tight, but you can get it. So, solid. As far as other likenesses, here he is next to what I use for his 3 3/4 representation. I can't keep track of, which is which or whatever. This is from the Legacy Power of the Jedi Force Smuggler line. But, there he is. And then this is the Star Wars Unleashed Han. And now this Han is obviously bigger, and it's a statue. You don't get the articulation and everything. But face sculpt has a little bit more Harrison Ford in it. Not perfect. Hard to nail perfect. But it's pretty good. Size comparison wise, there he is next to the Stormtrooper, which is the only other 6-inch Star Wars Black Series figure I have. I would be interested in the Vader or the Maul, if I could find a Maul whose eyes didn't look like Biggie Smalls or this girl I knew from high school. But either way, you can see that they size up appropriately and they'll look right together on a shelf. Final thoughts, he's a pretty solid unit. The gun does come out. I didn't mention that, but I thought it went without saying, or I subconsciously thought it went without saying. But the blaster pistol does come out, and looks the part. It's got some silver paint on it, which is nice to have little accents, and maybe even some dry. It looks like the whole thing is dry brush silver, which is a nice touch. The hair is dry brushed to brown. It's nice. It's a good figure. There's gloss on the boots. There's a little bit of gloss on the jacket. There's there's a wide range of skills being used. The belt, has some paint accents, and it's painted pretty well. I don't notice any paint deficiencies off the top. The screws and the legs and so forth are pretty well hid, and it breaks up a little bit. Maybe, but if they would have painted it red, it would have been a problem too. So I really think that it's a solid figure. $20, I don't know. I feel good with my purchase. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My daughter's named after Han Solo's daughter, for goodness sake. So, I'm in. And I dig it. I'm happy I bought it. And I'm looking forward to getting Chewbacca and finding a Darth Maul whose eyes don't look, let's just say, touched, I guess. I wouldn't mind finding a Vader. I'm sure I'll find one at one point. Star Wars doesn't know how to make anything without making 10 billion Vaders. He's like the Bumblebee of Star Wars, or the Wolverine of Star Wars. Or Spider-Man. They can't make one without making a billion of them. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care. To my Transformer fans, I got more stuff coming, I promise you. I'm just waiting for it to hit my inbox, and I will ship it as soon as it gets in. I got a lot more good stuff coming, so just bear with me. To everybody else, hope you're enjoying the variety, and I'll see you next time. James, I still haven't rolled yet, buddy. I recorded this the same day as the other one, so I got you, man.